Here in the F4L headquarters. It's a Cage of Hell match, ladies and gentlemen. I know what you guys have been waiting for. I know you guys like the Cage of Hells. So, and this is a little bit of retribution for Juggernaut, who seems to be feeling some kind of way since the last time he had a Juggernaut challenge. Sabretooth answered the challenge, and Sabretooth wiped the floor with Juggernaut. Well, he wants to redeem himself in this Cage of Hell match against an old rival, Colossus. So this should be a battle of the monsters, I guess you'd say. For lack of a better term, I guess. As Juggernaut with a right hand, Colossus with a big right hand. This should be, in the words of the great mind of wrestling and one of the greatest voices in wrestling, Jim Ross, this should be a good old-fashioned slobber knocker. Juggernaut stands about 7 feet 4 inches tall. Colossus stands about 7 feet tall. So almost equally in size. Juggernaut has him by about 4 inches. But that doesn't stop Colossus, who usually throws people around like they're going out of style. Juggernaut, opposer of the X-Men. Colossus is a member of the X-Men. And now Colossus has got Juggernaut in the corner and now sends him with the shoulder first. Oh. I'm wondering how much of that the ring can take, really. That's a lot of weight to be thrown around in the ring. Juggernaut goes for about 450. 450, 500 pounds or so is Juggernaut. Mostly all muscle, too. Colossus goes for about 450 himself. That's also solid muscle, as you can see. There's not a lot of fat on Colossus. That's a lot of weight in the ring. Not to forget about the little scrawny referee in the ring, who, you know, I like to point out the fact that I often have a lot of empathy for the referees on our show, because they never really know what the heck they're getting into when they sign on to do one of these matches. As Juggernaut takes control and down goes Colossus. Right now it's a epic confrontation right now. There's really no way of knowing who's going to win, who's going to lose. As Juggernaut Colossus is back up. He was up at 7, by the way. As Juggernaut looks to take it out. There's the Juggernaut slam right there. We got some debuts coming up, ladies and gentlemen. We got a humdinger of a interesting main event, as the Stevens family will be in action. George, Thomas, Paul, and Ed White going to be making his return to Dream Masters, as they're going to be taking on the Strange Crew in the main event. I know, it should be interesting. Kind of like interesting stuff in general, so there you go. At least I think that's what the match is going to be. You never know. As always, in any other wrestling show, cards subject to change. I just know the Stevens family will be in action. I don't know who they're going to be taking on. And I also know that Sean Stevens himself will be making his in-ring debut here today, folks, against a old rival of sorts. So that should be very interesting, as we're here in Sturgis, Indiana, as a motorcycle rally is going by, paying tribute to our troops, all bravely overseas, all over the place. Even if they're home, they're bravely defending our freedom. So we should give our thanks to those brave men and women, like these motorcycle people are. As Colossus takes him down hard. And Colossus is having problems. There's the Juggernaut with a shoulder block and a takedown. And Juggernaut is on a string of fire on Colossus. For those guys who saw the Deadpool movie, you know that Colossus took Colossus and a couple other people to help take down the Juggernaut. Yeah, but there won't be no wires and electrical cords and pools here. You got to actually beat the guy and have him down, as Colossus feels that he's got it now as he poses. This is this week's Juggernaut Challenge, ladies and gentlemen. Colossus sits up. Uh-oh, Juggernaut's got him by the throat, takes him down to the mat with a choke. That's it, and the Juggernaut has reclaimed his ring, and the Juggernaut has got some type of retribution. Granted, it wasn't the Sabretooth, which I'm sure down the road we're going to get to see that match again between Juggernaut and Sabretooth, but right now, Juggernaut took things in his own hand with a huge win over old nemesis Colossus of the X-Men. Speaking of old rivalries, the next match should bring back some memories for you comic book lovers, and should be pretty interesting.
Here is your winner, the immovable object, indestructible, dangerous, the Tank.
And the Juggernaut wins again. All right, folks. Batten down the hatches. We got action coming your way. Congratulations, Juggernaut, on your return.